So this is actually episode number 12 of the Man Up Show. Or I'm sorry, the Just Man Up Show. I had to change that. You guys knew that. I've said it like 5 times already. So we are on episode number 12 of the Just Man Up Show, and I have an incredible one for you. Topic is really just, it's about breaking out of the 9 to 5, and I think what I titled it is why your 9 to 5 sucks, okay? Let's just be real here. Most people who work a 9 to 5, they really just do not enjoy what they're doing. They don't enjoy going to work every day. They don't enjoy hearing that damn alarm clock going off. You know, it's not fun to get up in the morning and go to work doing something that you don't enjoy doing. And I know that because I went through it for many years. It's not fun. So there's a lot of people that go through life, and in fact, they go through their entire lives and they work this 9 to 5 and doing something that they don't love, and all they look forward to is the damn weekend. And to me, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I want to have something to where I can wake up every single day, whether that's a Friday or whether that's a Monday, and absolutely love what I do. And you guys know this is what I do with my business. I freaking love it. Like, it doesn't feel like a job to me, but the only reason I got to this point was because I broke out of that 9 to 5. All right. So let me back up and let's just go over why so many people are stuck in this little cycle, staying in their 9 to 5 job. And it has to go back to schooling. I was asked to speak on a call just the other day for another top coach that's in the network and in our business. For those of you who have no idea what I do, but in our business. And that's something I talked about, was how so many people are stuck in that 9 to 5 because of basically how they were raised. Okay. So let's go back. All right. Let's go back to your past. And I want you to think about something for a minute. I want you to ask yourself this. Do you ever remember going through school, whether that's grade school or high school or even college, and ever learning how to be an employer? And I asked this on the call the other day because I knew what the response would be. And I actually asked them, we were on a Zoom call, which is a conference call where I could see them. And I had them raise their hand. I said, if you have been taught that you should be an employer, I want you to raise your hand. And there were like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 people on this call. And I'm looking around and I'm looking at the people, and there's like one person that raised their hand. And I asked her, I said, is it because you were in college? Is it a class that you took in college? And she said, yes. So the whole point is that all through life, all through grade school and high school and even college, all growing up, we are never taught to be an employer. We are taught to be an employee. Let's just face it. And this isn't some conspiracy theory or anything. That's what the government wants us to do. They want us to be employees, not employers. And it makes sense. Like, you think back at it and it makes total sense. But you also think back and you're like, man, he's right. I've never been taught that. And I'm saying that from experience because growing up, I wasn't taught this stuff, and not even in college. And here's what's crazy. This is the crazy part, is I studied business and I studied finance, and I still was never taught to be an employer, not an employee. So many people are stuck. Like, they're stuck in this 9 to 5 position doing something they love doing because they were never taught how to break out of that employee mindset and branch into the employer mindset. And while we're along the lines of this topic, it brings up another point about finances. And the next question is, growing up, were you ever taught how to properly finance? Like, were you ever taught personal finance? You might have taken a class in college called personal finance, but I did too, but it wasn't the real world. I wasn't taught how to manage debt. I wasn't taught that I shouldn't be in debt. Everybody goes through life. It's almost like a given. It's almost acceptable now to go through life thinking it's okay to be in debt. So you have all these freaking people out there that are just spending and spending and spending money that they don't have. So here their credit cards are just racking up, and it's like, what, 19%? You know, so they just keep, it's just a spiral. It spirals out of control. But it's along the same lines, is that through school, we're never taught to be an employer. We're taught to be an employee, and we're never taught how to properly manage our finances. It's the same exact thing. And why is that? Because in all reality, guys, and think about this. This is the real life. This is real stuff. How much of that shit that you learned in school is stuff that you applied today? And I can even say this for college as well. And the chances are you're going to say, well, not much. Listen, first of all, I don't remember much the stuff that I learned in school. But I can tell you it wasn't relevant to what I do today. Everything that I've learned, where I am today with my business with success, is because how I was raised by my parents and grandparents and through personal experience. That is how I learned how to be an employer, not an employee. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about why the 9 to 5 is such a bad thing. Now don't get me wrong. There is a place for people who work 9 to 5. Businesses have to run on people who work 9 to 5. Let's just be real for a minute. And I'm going to get your mind spinning a little bit. Your 9 to 5 limits your potential. And there's nobody that can argue that. There's nobody that can argue that. Not one person. Your 9 to 5 limits your potential for success. Everybody should have the goal of time and financial freedom. In fact, that is everybody's goal. It's not everybody should have that goal. That is everybody's goal. Everybody ultimately wants time and financial freedom. And am I right? I know I'm right. That's what we all want. So let's talk about that. 9 to 5. Does that allow you time freedom? No, absolutely not, because you're working for somebody else. They're the ones who determine what you work. They determine whether you work the 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or whatever it is, or sometimes even midnights. They are the ones, your bosses are the ones, your corporation are the ones that are in control of your entire life. They're in control of your time. But not only are they in control of your time, they're in control of your money. And I don't get that. And why? Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that they're in control of your money? Because it's the truth. Guys, your potential, your earning potential is limited by your boss. It's limited by your president of the company. It's limited by upper management. It doesn't matter how much you bust your ass. It doesn't matter how good of an employee you are. Yes, you might move up a little bit, but ultimately, you're not the one that's in control of your money or your time. The people above you, your employer, is the one who's controlling both. And I'm going to give you a little example, and I wrote this in my book, by the way, which is going to be coming out so soon. I'm so freaking excited about it. It's called Just Man Up, obviously the title of this show. I'm going to give you guys an example, all right? You have an employee A and employee B. Employee A is this perfect employee. This is the dude that shows up 10 minutes early every single day. He walks around with the most positive attitude that you could possibly think of. This is the guy that greets everybody, has a smile on his face all the time. This is the guy that is just itching to learn, that is super driven, that is super ambitious. This is the guy that comes up with all these various ideas for the company, right? This is employee A. And then you have employee B. Employee B is a lazy piece of shit. This is the guy that walks into work 10 minutes late every single day. His hair's not done. He looks like crap. This is the guy that talks about the company behind their back, talks shit about the company, talks bad about the bosses and people above him. This is the guy that causes all kinds of drama in the office all the time. This guy only does what he's told. That's it. Just does what he's told because he just wants in and out as soon as he possibly can because he doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to go home, drink his beer. This is also the guy that finds different ways to cheat the system. So this is the type of guy that will literally go to the bathroom and take a 25-minute shit on company hours. Okay, so now you have an idea of employee A, right, and employee B. Here's what's interesting. Yes, employee A might have the potential to move up, but let's be real. Let's be honest here. How far can employee A move up? He might get a $10,000 raise a year, maybe every couple years or something like that. All right, maybe a little bit more. Sometimes he'll get some bonuses. But employee B, who does nothing and is shit, is still making the same freaking amount, maybe a little less. So you have this effort that this guy, employee A, is putting in, and this effort that or lack of effort that employee B is putting in, but yet their incomes are so comparable because they're not in control of how much they make. The people above them are in control of how much they make. All right, let's take it to the next step here. All right, let's say employee A miraculously, something incredible happens and this guy gets to be the president of the company. Hell yeah, president of the company. Or let's say upper management. This guy's making $250,000 a year. And anybody, you guys would be like, yeah, $250,000. Hell yeah. That's everybody dreams of an income like that. I know at one point I did, but here's the problem and here's what I want you to think about. If that guy could move from an employee, a lower level employee, all the way up to the president making $250,000, he has severely limited his potential, his earning potential. Severely. Because in order to get to that position, it takes an incredible amount of effort. It takes someone who is super ambitious, somebody who always comes up with ideas, somebody who pushes past their failures, who understands patience. This is that guy. If you would take employee A out of the 9 to 5, out of corporate America, and he actually took that same exact effort. Let's say that was over a 5-year period of time. Same exact effort. He took that same exact effort and he put it towards starting his own business. I can tell you right now that if he took that and he did that with a business, he would be earning well more than $250,000 a year. This is the type of guy that could be earning $1, $2, $3, $5 million a year. But it didn't matter. In the 9 to 5 mindset, in the 9 to 5 environment, an employee mindset, he's stuck. He's limited. He's limited by the company. He's limited by working under someone else. You have to break out of that. If you really want, listen, our goal is to be in control of our time and our income. The amount of effort that we put into it should be what we get out of it in terms of pay. But when you work for someone else, that's normally not the case. When you work for yourself, that is the case. So back in 2008, I understood this at such a young age. I thank God every day that I did, because I realized that if I continued on the path that I was on, working for someone else, I would be limited, doing something I hated for the rest of my entire life. And there was no way in hell that I was going to do that. No way I was going to do that. So I did everything I could to get out of the situation. I started my own business, and yes, I worked. And here's the thing, guys, and it's not like you can start doing something on the side, and it just magically turns into a 6-figure income. It doesn't work like that. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience. So you have to do what I did. So you have to figure out something you're super passionate about, for one. And again, it doesn't have to be network marketing, which is what I'm in. It could be any business, any business out there. Find something you're passionate about. Find products that you're passionate about. You know what? And do something you're passionate about, but do it as an employer, not as an employee. But you have to have your job too. You have to be able to sustain life. You have to have income coming in to support your family. I get that. That's me. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do back in 2008 and 2009. I did these things. I had my full-time job, but I was doing my part-time job, which is ultimately my business, on the side. And I put in the hours necessary to help that grow to the point to where that part-time thing overtook my full-time stuff, and then I could switch it. So then I started spending more time on what I do now and less time at work. And then ultimately, back in 2010, I quit everything else, and then bam. And I made my business my full-time career, because I wanted to be in control of my life. I wanted to be in control of my income. I wanted my pay to match my effort. And all of you guys that are working for someone else right now, that is not happening. So I hope I got your head spinning a little bit. I hope I got you thinking, because people go through life, man, and it's super sad to me. And I see this happen with people I know. People go through life hating what they do, not making any money, living in debt constantly. They literally hate life. They come home from work and they're so depressed that it affects their family. They have no time freedom, and all they do is look forward to going to that bar on Friday night after work so they can get drunk and forget about the shit that they went through the week before. Like, that is what the typical employee goes through. There's a lot of people going through that. And I think they're afraid to branch out and to do something else. But in order to change, you have to do something else, and you have to branch out of that. So ultimately, you have to force yourself to switch from that employee mindset to an employer mindset. If you do that, you're going to be surprised with just how much changes in your life. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy to do. It's going to be hard, and it's going to take time. And especially if you have no experience with owning a business. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions for me, you can reach out to me, josh@joshspencerfitness.com. Visit my website, joshspencerfitness.com. Make sure you subscribe. That way, whenever I do come live for the Just Man Up Show, which is every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm probably going to add in one more day as well. But make sure you subscribe. That way, when I do come on live, you're going to be able to see me pop up. So you guys have a good evening. I got a team call. See you guys.